It's all covered in today's China Truths.
China's housing market is collapsing. Homes aren't being sold, and they aren't being rented out. Why? Because supply has completely drowned demand. Too many homes, not enough buyers. Many people in Shanghai trying to sell have realized the same painful truth. No one is even asking. Their listings have been up for half a year, even a full year, and the phone has never rung once. Second-hand house prices have frozen for months, and desperate owners are cutting prices like never before. Even lifelong Shanghainese are stunned. This wave is brutal, some say. No one dares to buy anymore. The reality is worse than anyone imagined. Shanghai's market is plunging faster than a waterfall. Once prestigious mansions have lost nearly 3/4 of their value. In Huangpu district, a new home that sold for 10 million yuan last year now sits unsold, bleeding value month after month. At the peak, homes sold for 100,000 yuan per square meter. Now they barely reach 60,000 or even 50,000. Why is everyone suddenly rushing to sell? Has the market lost control? Or is this the calm before a bigger storm? This is the age of information gaps. Some people already know what's coming, and they're acting fast. By year's end, Shanghai may see over 350,000 listings, an all-time record. Once considered China's most stable market, even Shanghai is cracking. Beijing and Shanghai are both tumbling together, and the fall isn't slowing. From August to September, prices went into free fall. It's terrifying. Even prime districts, once untouchable, are collapsing. Official data says a 20% drop, but on the ground, the truth is much worse. Since 2018, nearly every buyer in Shanghai, 99%, is now in the red. A video shared by local residents calls this the most tragic housing crash in 10 years. Central districts are down 40%, 50%, even 70%. Properties inside the inner ring road are cratering. On October 14th, popular Weibo blogger Master Mei revealed that an overseas Shanghainese had begged for help. His Jing'an district apartment couldn't find a single buyer. Master Mei's response was chilling. There's only one solution: cut the price again. Shanghai's luxury apartments are bleeding millions overnight. Panic is spreading. This isn't a rumor, one homeowner said. It's reality. I just want to escape this place. Hope has vanished. The world has changed. Once worth 30 million yuan, houses that owners swore they'd never sell are now worthless burdens. The dream of endless growth is gone. It's a buyer's market now, and the prices keep falling. Even at 2 million yuan, some homes can't find buyers. The outer areas, north of the city near Qidong and Haimen, are sinking even faster. The myth that first-tier cities were too valuable to fall is dead. Mansions once seen as bulletproof are collapsing. Some have lost over 700,000 yuan per month. In Shijiahui, homes that once defined luxury are now begging for buyers. If I hadn't seen it myself, one agent said, I'd never believe it. Today, Shanghai's second-hand market follows one rule. The lowest price shows the greatest sincerity. Take one example. A house listed in April has dropped more than 700,000 yuan every month. The owner has slashed the price from 24 million yuan down to under 8 million and still can't sell. Another home has been listed for 287 days, cut by 1.22 million yuan, and remains unsold. In Jinshan's Meizhou New Village, prices have plunged 63%, now averaging just 9,000 yuan per square meter, cheaper than many fourth-tier cities. The nearby Haiwan Greenfield community? Also collapsing. It's a bottomless pit. A home bought in 2021 for 20,000 yuan per square meter now sells for just 9,400. One owner sighed, I paid 4.4 million yuan. Now it's worth 2.8. I've lost 1.6 million. It's painful just to think about. Another said, if I sell now, at least I can pay off my loan. His 9 million yuan house is now worth only 6 million. I woke up devastated. My sister's place, 119 square meters, just sold for 7.7 million. Near Mingsheng Road Station, inside the 6th ring, homes are selling for 65,000 yuan per square meter. Many still have no idea how serious this crisis is. Prices have rolled back 10 to 15 years. The entire market is being reset. In Longfor Qingyun, prices opened at 62,000 yuan. Now they're down to 48,000. The landlord not only lost taxes and interest, but another 600,000 in value. Panic is spreading among landlords. The pressure is unbearable. New and old homes alike are being dumped on the market. In Shujiahui, houses have dropped by 7 million yuan in 3 years. A mansion in Lujiazui, once worth 47 million yuan, is now just 41 million. And last week, the owner cut another 5 million. Desperation runs deep. When fans on social media asked, "How's Shanghai's housing market doing?" the answer was blunt: still falling. Some accused experts of fear-mongering, but one truth remains: this is real. "Falling prices don't benefit me either," said a real estate worker. "I own property too. My job depends on transactions. I want prices to rise more than anyone, but they simply won't."
上海房价实际跌幅多少呢？
Shanghai Kangcheng's housing prices have plunged 40%, and those who once rushed to buy are now in tears. In 2022, at the market's peak, second-hand apartments there sold 100 to 200 units a day. Now, the number of listings has tripled, or even increased tenfold, while transactions have nearly stopped. The entire market has frozen. Unemployment pressures and a collapsing economy have made things worse. Many families can no longer afford their mortgages, leading to forced sales and foreclosures. Few people dare to buy anymore. Even luxury areas in Huangpu district and along the Bund are facing collapse. The once booming high-end market has lost all its buyers. People say the leaks have all been cut. Yet despite these deep price cuts, fear dominates. Buyers are still waiting, afraid that prices will drop even further. Experts warn that China's economic decline is now systemic. No industry, no region, and no city can escape. The real estate meltdown is only the beginning. Shanghai, once the benchmark of China's economic power, is now sinking into crisis. Across China's 2,145 cities, countless people own multiple homes, treating them as investment products rather than places to live. But at night, when the city lights are on, most apartments remain dark. Many of these new homes were never occupied or even decorated, brand new but lifeless. This is why second-hand homes in prime locations may soon become more appealing than new ones. The myth of China's real estate miracle has come to an end.
It's all covered in today's China Truths.
Here's the shocker. 90 million homes in China, 95% of them sitting empty. Sounds unbelievable, right? Sure, that number might be hyped up, but it shines a spotlight on a disaster that is all too real. China is drowning in ghost cities, millions of apartments standing lifeless, and endless rows of skyscrapers haunting the horizon. This isn't just about housing. It's a ticking social, economic, and even environmental time bomb that could shake families, banks, in the global economy. Stick with me, because we're about to dig into just how deep this hole goes and what might erupt next. The real face of China's ghost cities. The official count already shows 7.2 million new apartments with no buyers, but experts warn the actual number of vacant homes may be closer to 65 to 90 million. That's enough to shelter an entire country like Germany. And these aren't just scattered empty buildings, they're whole districts. Imagine brand new highways, glowing neon malls, and high-rise skylines built for millions, but with only silence. In Tianducheng near Hangzhou, a near-perfect copy of Paris stands eerily still, complete with its own Eiffel Tower. In Inner Mongolia's Ordos, the Kangbashi district was built to house 1 million people, but barely tens of thousands live there. Stadiums, libraries, and government buildings rise proudly and stand empty. What you're seeing is not quirky architecture. It's the fallout of a system addicted to overbuilding. Local officials, desperate to inflate GDP, sold land like candy. Developers, armed with cheap loans, rushed to build faster than anyone could buy. The cost? Wasted trillions in steel, concrete, and public funds. Every dark window isn't just an empty room. It's a broken promise. And behind these lifeless skylines lies a storm waiting to break. So how did China end up building cities no one lives in? The roots run deep. For decades, local governments relied on selling land rights to fill their budgets. It became the go-to trick for showing economic growth. Developers thrived not because people needed homes, but because speculation was irresistible. Borrow big, build fast, sell high. That was the game. But by the late 2010s, the debt piles grew monstrous. In 2020, Beijing hit the brakes with the 3 red lines policy, cutting developers off from easy loans. Overnight, giants like Evergrande and Country Garden began to unravel, leaving behind half-built towers and furious buyers. But money isn't the only problem. China is aging fast, birth rates are collapsing, and young people facing low wages and job insecurity are avoiding homeownership altogether. The cultural obsession with buying property is fading. Just when supply hit historic highs, demand collapsed. Developers were left with entire forests of unsold towers, while more and more families chose to rent or stay with parents. This isn't just a housing issue, it's the engine of China's growth stalling out, suffocated by debt, demographics, and decades of warped incentives. The fallout nobody can escape. This crisis isn't just about buildings, it's about people. Millions who bought homes at sky-high prices now find themselves trapped. They took out 30-year mortgages, expecting their apartments to rise in value. Instead, they're watching their wealth evaporate. In cities like Zhengzhou and Xi'an, apartments once worth 1 million yuan now sell for half that. Families owe more than their homes are worth, and there's no easy way out. The collapse has rippled outward, gutting industries that fed off the housing boom. Real estate touches over 60 different sectors, from cement and glass to home appliances and banking. In 2024 alone, hundreds of suppliers went bankrupt, and waves of layoffs hit construction workers, decorators, and furniture makers. Banks are now staring at massive risks. More than 70% of collateral in China's loan system is tied to property. As values plunge, the stability of the entire financial system wobbles. Credit is tightening, and small businesses are suffocating. The social cost is even more devastating. Jobless migrants are leaving the cities in droves, heading back to villages. Young professionals are giving up on the dream of urban success. Middle-class confidence is collapsing. What we're witnessing isn't just a real estate slowdown. It's a breakdown of trust, livelihoods, and the social contract that held the country together. Ghost cities may look like silent concrete shells, but they're far from dormant. Behind those dark windows, electricity is still flowing, elevators still humming, and water systems still running, all without a single family inside. The numbers are staggering. Empty apartments across China pump out an estimated 55 million tons of carbon dioxide every year. That's nearly 7% of the entire country's residential emissions, pollution on the scale of whole provinces, generated by homes no one even lives in. Why does this happen? It's baked into the system. Developers designed new districts to show off political ambition and modern progress, installing full lighting, heating, and water pressure from day one. The hope was that people would move in, but when the crowds never came, the infrastructure stayed alive anyway, devouring power and wasting resources with zero return. This invisible pollution is perhaps the most dangerous kind, hidden, unspoken, but massive. Unlike smoggy highways or smoking factories, you won't see it, but it's there, silently undermining China's climate pledges to peak emissions by 2030 and hit carbon neutrality by 2060.